Oh yeah, squatters. Thank you, Siyabonga. We're back with another one. Chop is when, as you know, we keep pushing, we keep engaging. Let's keep on sharing. Currently, I have been trying to review the first top 4 of our political parties. Actually, who has got authority to do what and all of that according to the party structures. And now I'm just going to count these political parties orderly. So I've been looking at the ANC, looking at the DA, looking at the MKP and the EFF. These 4 political parties. I'm picking this top 4 because I don't want to be long, but now I just want to paint a picture of what actually I want to portray. These 4 political parties has got structures of different positions, and then I have been asking myself actually who commands who and who takes instructions from who, and who has got more powers or more authority than who between the 2 people in each and every party. 2 people. Let's talk about ANC now. ANC, we've got Fikile MBALULA, we've got President Cyril Ramaphosa. Who has got more authority to tell the other or to instruct the other? Who has got more powers? I know what you're going to say, but nyabuya. Let's go to DA. Who has got more powers to tell who to do what? Who has got more authority in that political party? We jump to MKP. And I'll tell you the reason why I'm doing this. MKP, between Floyd and Jacob Zuma, who has got more powers to tell the other to do or to execute whatever, to give instructions, practical instructions? Number 4, we go to EFF. Who has got more powers to tell who? I'll tell you the structuring of these 4 political parties. I don't know. I feel like the only person or the only political party which is well structured and is doing exactly what I view it as how it should be done. You go to ANC. ANC, there's a Secretary General, Fikile MBALULA. But if you're looking at this political party, it's more like Fikile MBALULA is getting instructions from Cyril Ramaphosa. It sounds crazy to me. I think the Secretary General have got more power and more authority to give instructions to the president. Do you remember the time when Cyril Ramaphosa came in as a president, when Ace Magashule was still the Secretary General? You remember that drama when Ace Magashule wanted to suspend Cyril before Cyril could fire him or could expel him from the ANC, by the way. So that is when these 2 centers of power were tested. Who has got more authority than the other? In the ANC, yes, it looks more like Cyril Ramaphosa has got more power, to tell Fikile MBALULA to do certain things or to execute certain tasks. But does it really has to be like that? In a sense that, is it not Fikile MBALULA who should be guiding the party, the ANC, where to go and how to go about? Because Cyril Ramaphosa is nominated by the comrades. He doesn't nominate himself. Before becoming the state president, he is the ANC president. And if he does anything wrong, let's make a practical example about the Phala issue. Before this matter goes to Parliament and for review and all of that, let's talk about the ANC itself. If Fikile MBALULA consulted the disciplinary committee and felt ukuthi Ramaphosa acted out of the party mandate, or he committed maybe whatever the offense according to the party policy and all of that, couldn't he actually propose a disciplinary action against Ramaphosa, for his behavior, before he can go to Parliament and say, we have suspended Cyril Ramaphosa as the political party, ANC, because these are the people who nominate him to become a president. So if he is misbehaving and he is abusing his power or the authority, why do they fail to call him into order? It's more like they're too scared of Cyril, because Cyril has got a backup of investors, and then somehow whoever wants to touch him, or whoever wants to betray him, or whoever doesn't want to toe the line of his instructions, and then becomes an enemy automatically, and then that person gets to be victimized, gets to be expelled from the party, and all of that. I don't understand those two centers of power, because now if you look at the ANC, you'll feel like Cyril Ramaphosa is the master of everything. Like, he calls the shots. He tells all those comrades to toe the line, and they do toe the line, including Fikile MBALULA. Fikile MBALULA cannot discipline Cyril Ramaphosa. But I think, in a true sense, Fikile MBALULA has got more powers than Cyril Ramaphosa. Cyril Ramaphosa, before being the state president, he's an ANC president. And who disciplines Cyril? When Cyril messes up, who is disciplining him? That disciplinary committee, who is the party secretary general, who must make sure that all the comrades are towing the line. Now you go to DA, the second largest political party. You look at Helen Zille, the way she has positioned herself. She knows that position of federal chairperson holds more power than the actual party president. John Steenhuisen, you can see by looking at the DA that this guy is receiving direct instructions from Helen. And then there's nothing wrong about that, because if John doesn't behave, Helen has got the right to say, I am like what she did to Musimaima. Helen has got more powers. Helen is actually understanding her position, and she's using that to her advantage. But even though I said on the other episode that if DA, maybe by any miracle, wins outright majority or becomes the first largest party, maybe wins more percentages, Helen will emerge and will become the president, not John. John Steenhuisen is just there as a window shopping. But if ever DA gets more support, gets more votes, Helen will skip from the federal chairperson to becoming the president. She knows that. She knows that, by the way. It's politics. I will argue that another day. So if you go to MKP, the problem with these two political parties, MKP and EFF, they almost have got the similar behavior. The behavior that's there is that I open this political party, therefore I will be a president, and everybody, the buck stops with me. They like power, they like authority, they like just being authoritative. What power comes with, they don't care. The MKP belongs to Jacob Zuma. Jacob Zuma is the one who initiated the MKP, Umkhonto Wesizwe Party, and he did everything. He organized all the comrades and there meetings at Ngandla and everything. Now, look at Floyd's position. Floyd is the Secretary General. And this proves me right, by the way, because recently Floyd had to suspend 3 senior party members for irregularities, which to me shows that Floyd has got powers to institute disciplinary action towards the party members, even the senior members. But those people were not just comrades, oi, left, right, oi. Those were senior members who have confidential information of the party, the finance. Remember the finance, they were holding a very, very critical position of the party there. So eventually, if you look at MK, Floyd cannot discipline Jacob Zuma, but he should be having those powers and privileges. If Jacob Zuma misbehaves, who disciplines him? There is a problem. Those are the red flags of dictatorship that, okay, Cyril Ramaphosa calls the shots in the ANC. Whoever goes against him, you are gone. With Cyril, you won't survive, you are gone. Let's skip this one because I've explained the DA and how Helen Zille positioned herself and she understands. And I will mention something, by the way, between Helen Zille and Fikile MBALULA. You remember there was a time when they were at loggerheads because this one was not understanding certain things about the GNU, and this one I was explaining to this one. I will come to that, by the way, when I close this chapter. So the MKP is led by Jacob Zuma, and he has got the last say. Whatever he says goes. Although there's a Secretary General who must run the political party. The Secretary General, by the way, is responsible to make sure that the party is intact. We look at the SG. SG. Manje, why wunje? You get what I'm saying. And you go to EFF, you're going to get the same issue. EFF also, Julius Malema is in charge of everything. There's an SG, but that SG is just there to take instructions from Julius. Julius Malema is the same as Jacob Zuma and Ramaphosa. They are authoritative. If Julius Malema misbehave within the party, Pella, when you are a leader, it doesn't mean you'll always be perfect. If Julius Malema is found to have violated some of the policy, the party policies, who is going to discipline Julius Malema in his own political party? Who is going to do that? These two leaders, Jacob Zuma and Julius Malema, couldn't merge because they are power mongers. All of them, they love power. You know, they love authority. So that is the reason why Abu Talimpofu and Floyd had to move to MKP, because Julius Malema cannot, in simple term, he's ungovernable. Jacob Zuma also the same, is ungovernable. He can't work under anyone. Those are the people who wants to work above, who wants to lead, who want to be in charge. Doesn't matter whether they do it right or they do it the wrong way. They just want authority on that. So all these 4 political parties, the only political party which is following the right or the correct mandate, I think it's DA, because Helen Zille, her position gives her the authority as it should be. She can call John Steenhuisen into order if John is misbehaving. But Fikile MBALULA cannot discipline Ramaphosa. It will never happen. Even if Batola more dollars and euros under his mattress, a Palapala, or at his Hyde Park house or wherever there. He cannot discipline Cyril. That's a fact. Floyd cannot discipline Jacob Zuma. That's a fact. It's a fact. It cannot. So you can see, Uguti, there's a problem with the leadership, and then if there's a problem, which those things are red flags. They are the red flags towards leadership that even currently now, the newly appointed Marshal Dlamini in the EFF as the SG has got no authority to discipline or even to call Julius Malema into order. Julius Malema can do as he pleases in the EFF because he feels, I own this party. That is my problem with, politics is so wide to an extent that even if you intend maybe to participate in this political arena of following a party, you must bear in mind that you are following an individual, and that individual will give you instructions. When you just be a comrade there, oi, left, oi, right. That's all you're going to be. And sometimes these people, they are not always perfect. They are not always doing the right thing. Sometimes they mess up. Then who's calling them into order? The three political parties, ANC, it's MKP, it's EFF. Their presidents have got the last say. They are above. That's why Jacob Zuma now is still fighting for the membership of the ANC. But you are running a party here. You are greedy when you grip both sides. And only Jacob Zuma can do that because he is a policy unto himself. He is MK. He is Alpha and Omega. He is Stalin's pet. No one can tell him anything. That's a problem. Now, if you check the issue of Helen Zille and Fikile MBALULA, at some point they were at loggerheads because they were arguing about understanding the policy that they have signed and all of that to merge into becoming the GNU. Helen Zille was right, by the way. ANC went into the GNU with a mentality that they are going to instruct DA around because they've got more votes. It's not going to work. So actually, what should happen is that it's like a marriage, a wife and a husband. You cannot decide on your own. You cannot decide on your own. You need to invite other comrades. They need to take DA, sit down, sit around the table and say, we want to do this. Meet each other halfway, compromise. So Fikile MBALULA had the mentality that he can just call the shots and then instruct DA what to do and DA must just agree. No, that's not how it works. They must engage. They must sit around the table. And if the DA doesn't agree to something, the ANC must understand and it must compromise. They must meet each other halfway. No, they are going to listen to us. They are not alone in no. It's a doomsayer. That doesn't work like that. So I think along the way somebody talked some sense into Fikile MBALULA to say, no, you are no longer in charge here. Because remember, ANC is used to being in charge and controlling everything. So, arrogance. So now, somebody has to sit down with Fikile MBALULA and explain to him, now, you are sharing now. You are sharing power. You are no longer fully in charge. You don't have the outright majority. Therefore, you must listen to Uma Crazy. Because if you don't listen to her, we're going to have a problem with this GNU thing. And now we're going to embarrass ourselves. And now the investors will say, hey, we got you married because we wanted you to be couples and now you are divorcing. So it will be an embarrassment. That's just something which they didn't want. So now they are forced to get along to cooperate, especially Helen Zille and Fikile, because these two people are running political parties. This one is running ANC, Fikile MBALULA, this one is running DA as a DA federal chairperson. So those are the red flags in political parties that are showing you ukuthi someone doesn't really understand their job description, or someone is abusing their powers. Ramaphosa is a policy unto himself. He is the alpha and omega of the ANC. Helen Zille is playing her role because John Steenhuisen doesn't really have a say there. And that's correct. That's right. He's not the alpha and omega. He knows that what happened to Mmusi Maimane can happen to him. MKP, Jacob Zuma, is the alpha and omega there. He calls the shots. No one can tell him anything there. Even Floyd must just ask whenever he wants to make a decision or do something. He has got the last say. Msholos, Julius, Malema, we all know he has got the last say. I don't know. That's my view about this whole thing of who has got more powers to instruct who to do what. Who is more influential? According to Incwadi Abama policies, what does it say? Maybe their policies are saying president has got more power. The party president, I'm not referring to the state president. Ramaphosa has got powers over the country. He can change whatever he wants to change, or do whatever he wants to do, or sign whatever the bill he wants to sign. But now let's talk about the party, the political party. Does he really hold those powers to have a last say? Or is it the Secretary General who must make sure he maintains discipline? If Ramaphosa messes up, can he be disciplined? Who will discipline him? It's a question. That one I will hear from you, Squatter Suguti. How do you view this? It's a bit tricky, but let's engage. Thank you. Sure.